Okay, let's continue our Hikam recitation tonight, and I would like to read the Al-Hikam Tasiyah Thalathun Ba'd al-Mi'atayn, the 239 aphorism of Master of Alexandria. And I would like to say thanks to all the reader from Al-Hikam and Imam Ibn Abbad Ar-Randi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. فإن نزلوا إلى سماء الحقوق أو أرض الحدود فبالإذن والتمكين والرسوخ في اليقين فلم ينزلوا إلى الحقوق بسوء الأدب والغفلة ولا إلى الحدود بالشهوة والمتعة بل دخلوا في ذلك بالله ولله ومن الله وإلى الله وقل ربي أدخلني مدخل صدق وأخرجني مخرج صدق واجعل لي min ladunka sultanan nasira wa qul ja'al haq wa zahaqal batil innal batila kana zahuqa. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Fa inna zalu. Okay, I would like to read I would like to read the meaning first, and maybe I want to read one of the story of Nasruddin Khoja, of Mullah Nasruddin Khoja. Fa inna zalu, when the spiritual seekers descend means get down, descend. When the spiritual seeker, when the spiritual voyager, when the salik, when the arifin, man who arif billah, when arifun, the seeker of a spiritual seeker, spiritual voyager enters ila sama'il huquq, to the heaven of obligation. Heaven means not only heaven Jannah, but also heaven means sky, heaven. Sama'i dunya means the first heaven. While Jannah is paradise, paradise is the plural form of Firdaus. Firdaus is mufrad, singular, by Farodis, while Farodis is paradise. Yeah. When the spiritual seeker or voyager enters, descend, arrive to the heaven of obligation, al ardil hudud, or the earth of social system, the earth of social interaction, means muamalah. Fabil izni wat tamkini war rusukhi fil yaqini. Fabil izni, and base of God's permission, God's allowance, God's license. Wat tamkini, and his affirmation. War rusukhi, and the determination fil yaqini, of faith, of belief, on behalf of belief. Falam yanzilu, so they do not carry out ilal hukuki, to the obligation, bisuil adabi, through the bad moral, to the bad character, wal ghaflati, and negligence, wala ilal hududi bishahwati wal mut'ati bal dakhalu fi dhalika. Wala ilal hudud, and they do not enter, and they do not descend, arrive, or erase the hudud. Hudud means social system, social interaction, or personal ambition. Means our interaction with the creature, with all humankind, with all mankind. Bishahwati, with the lust, and wal mut'ati, and the temporary pleasure or momentary pleasure. Bal dakhalu, they do all their duties. Fi dhalika, their duties means hukuk and hudud. Billahi walillahi wa minallahi wa ilallahi. Billahi, for the sake of Allah. Walillahi, and because of Allah. And then wa minallahi, and from Allah, from Him. And wa ilallahi, and towards Him. Okay. Okay, I would like to read. Let's open, if I'm not mistaken, Az-Zumar, yeah, Az-Zumar 24. Az-Zumar is chapter 39, 24, sorry, 29. Az-Zumar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Az-Zumar 29. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Daraballahu mathalan rajulan fihi syuraka mutasyakisuna wa rajulan salaman li rajulin hal yastawiyani masala alhamdulillahi bal aktsaruhum la ya'lamun. Okay. So there was a good story from the Nasruddin Khoja, from the Mullah, yeah. Okay, let me show you. Wait a moment. Okay, there is a hilarious or a profound. Do you know profound? Profound. It's the trademark of sandal. Yeah. There is a hilarious or profound story of the comical of Mullah Nasruddin. Yeah, that beautifully depicts the notation what we human beings are treasure chests in the games of faith reside within us, not outside. So Maulana Rumi reminds us, to all the creatures, do you know creatures, makhluk, yeah, to all creatures, you may knock from the outside, their doors. While to Allah, towards Allah, you may knock from the inside, means inside your heart, deepest of heart. So to all the creatures, you may knock their doors from the outside, while toward Allah, to Hadratillah, you may knock from the insides, mean inside of your deepest of heart. Knock from the inside, do not knock from the outside. Okay. One night, Nasruddin was crawling. Do you know crawling? Crawling, do you know crawling? Crawling in one's can. That song, do you remember? Linkin Park, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. One night, Nasruddin was crawling on hands and knees, this one hands, under a street lamp outside, yeah, street lamps in his house, when the view of his neighbors come over and ask him what he was doing. Mullah, what are you doing here? And the Mullah replied, I have lost my keys and I'm trying to find out outside. I think this is a very popular story, right? And hilarious and profound story. And I'm sure most of you, or all of you, knew well this story. Okay, and then the Mullah replied, I have lost my keys and I'm trying to find out outside. So he lost his key inside his house and he tried to find out his keys outside his house, under the street lamps. The street lamps. Okay. And then his neighbor decided to help, to help the Mullah search for his keys. But after about 20 minutes, one of his neighbors asked, oh Mullah, do you remember the last time you had your keys? And then the Mullah replied, confidently replied, yes, I was in my house. Do you still remember the last you had your keys? Yes, in my house. And the neighbors confusingly look each other. Do you know, look each other? Okay, until one of them asked, then why are you looking for them? Your keys mean outside, under the street lamp. Then the Mullah replies, and this is very, very hilarious and profound answer from the Mullah, Nasruddin Khoja. Because of the light is better here. My house is dark this time, and all the time, all night, my house is dark. Okay. Then the Mullah stood up, looked his confused neighbor in the face, and they profoundly said, how often, oh you, my neighbors, my beloved neighbors, how often do you search out the word for the case you carry inside in you? How often you try to find out your keys that you put inside your heart? So this is a reflective question, right? This is reflective, not a rhetoric question, but reflective question. Do not travel the earth in search of answers that are already inside that treasure chest in your heart. Treasure, do you need treasure? Treasure, okay. Yes, treasure. Okay. That usually find out by the pirates. Do you know pirates? Okay. And nowadays there is self-piracy. Do you know piracy? Burhan, do you know pirate? Pirates, piracy. Pirates is bajak laut. Piracy pembajakan. Self-piracy, membajak dirimu sendiri. When you make a content, you become a container, container, content creator. You make content about yourself, and you glorify yourself, and you consider that yourself is wow, and everything about you, inside you, everything around you. So it means that's self-piracy, and you get money from them, from your acts, from your action. Okay, we would like to continue. Don't travel the earth in search of answers that are already in the treasure chest of your heart. The question and the answer come from the same place and the same source. Have the courage to dive inside. There are many caves and pearls. Do you know pearls? Pearls. Pearls waiting to be discovered. Okay? So what we seek within us, it cannot be found outer world, in outer world, but inside world, mean inside your heart. So while you are knocking to every other door, that's the main question. There's the core question. Go and knock the door of your own heart and find out your heart. Find your heart out inside yourself. Okay. So knock from the inside. Yeah. Wait a moment. Darallahu mathalan rajulan fihi syuraka ya mutasyaghisuna wa rajulan salaman li rajulin hal yastawiyani masala. This is the story about a man, a person, become a servant, a slave of many master. Okay, let me show you. Az-Zumar 29, Allah puts forth a parable, a parable. Analogy of a man belonging to a man means servants, slaves, belonging entirely to one master and belonging entirely from many masters. Allah puts forth a parable, a man belonging to many partners at variance with each other, and a man belonging entirely to one master only. Are those two equal in comparison? Hal yastawiyani masalah. So this God and the wrong God, the false gods. Okay, so this is the false God, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, I would like to continue the annotation of Hikam tonight. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Fadha nazalu ila sama'il hukuki. When there the Arifin, the Luhurian, the seeker, the voyager of spiritual path, the spiritual seeker, nazalu ila sama'il hukuk, descend, arrive, enters to the heaven of obligation, ay al-hukukil wajibah, a mandatory obligation alayhim for them, in the mukhalatatil khalqi, in associating with the creatures, all creatures, ashabihi, which is analogous with sama, with the sky, with the heaven, bijami'i su'ubatil irtiqa'i ila kullin. In here ila kulli awaridin, but inside your book ila kullin ardil hudud, Bijami subatil irtiqa, yes, with all difficulties. Ila kullin ardul hudud that's the proper reading. Till comes down al hudud hududi anfusihim, their personal ambition, their personal obsession, allati tulabisuhum, that they carry out, wa yahsulu lahum al-irtifaq, and they are indeed easily erase the irtifaq, the benefit, the advantage, biha, with all hudud, ash-shabihi bil ardi, which is likened or analogous bil ardi, with the earth, bijami'i suhulatil istiqrari ala kullin, with all stable convenience, the easiness, the ease, with all ease and convenience, the stable convenience, ala kullin, completely, fabil izni wa tamkini, and based on Allah permission, Allah allowance, Allah license, wat tamkini, and his affirmation, wa rusukhi, and his determination, ya bil yaqini. Ay la bishahawatihim wa muradihim, wa illa falau khuyyiru baina maqamihim. This is khuyyiru. This so this aphorism encapsulated. So this hikam, this hikmah, tonight aphorism is encapsulated with Az-Zumar 29. Daraballahu mathalan rajulan, a parable, a man, rajulan, a man, slave, a servant, fi syuraka mutashakisuna, which held by, mastered by many masters. Mutashakis, wa rajulan salaman li rajulin, and one. So this we can find in our entirely life, yeah, when our heart held by Allah only, by only one God, and held by many gods, false idols. Do you know idols? Idols is Tawhut. Okay. It's encapsulated with one verse only in Holy Quran, yeah. La bishahawatihim wa muradihim wa illa falau khuyyiru, and based on their shahwat, their lust, wa muradihim, and their interest, wa illa, and if not, falau khuyyiru, if they are given the choices, baina maqamihim fi tilkal hadra, baina maqamihim, ya, baina maqamihim fi tilkal hadra, about it, among their faculty of spiritual faculties, fi tilkal hadra, being in God's presence, hadra, in God's presence, wal khuruj minha, or in one side, in another side, wal khuruj, and stay away, in exodus, minha, from hadratillah, from the hadra, ila mukhalatatil khalqi, ila mukhalatatil khalqi, in association with creator, mukhalatul khalqi, or social system, in associating with all creatures, all humankind. Lam yakhtaru, so they will not, lam yakhtaru illa baqa'uhum fiha. They will not choose illa baqa'uhum fiha, except to remain close Allah only. Qala Syarqawi syarihan ya rahmullah. Tsumma qala fa bil idzni radhiyallahu an means master of Alexandria. Fabil izni wa tamkini idh la yalzamu min mujarradil izni wa tamkini ay atamakkuni fi maqamil waqa'i bi ay yahsula lahumul quwwatu ala mukhalatatil khalqi wa tahammala azahum. This is plural, right? Thumma qala, and then master of Alexandria said fabil izni wa tamkini. And based on Allah permission, Allah allowance, Allah license was tamkin and His affirmation. إِذْ لَا يَلْزَمُ مِنْ مُجَرَّدِ الْإِذْنِ. It doesn't necessitate min mujarradil idhni, min mujarradil idhni, based on the idhn of Allah allowance only, Allah permission only, wa tamkini and His affirmation, ay atamakkunu fi maqamil baqa. Mean he consists of the faculty of baqa. Bi ayyahsula lahum. It doesn't necessitate idh la yalzamu al baqa bi ayyahsula lahum to get or to achieve, to raise al quwwah, the power ala mukhalatatil khalqi, or license, yeah, ala mukhalatatil khalqi, to socialize with the creatures, with all existence. Wa tahammala adahum, and endure their intimidation. So fabil izni wa tamkini idh la yalzamu, it doesn't necessitate bi ayyahsula lahumul quwwah, to gain the power, to raise the power. Wa tahammala azahum, and endure their intimidation. Wa rusukhu fil yakini, and determination, yeah, deep determination. Rosaha means permeate. It's malakah, ya, fil yaqini. Ay wa ba'da rusukhihim fil yaqini, after their steady of determination, fil yaqini, on behalf fil yaqini billah, on behalf of believing Allah, wa ma'rifatihim, and knows Allah, ma'rifatan dhawqiyatan, with the knowledge, with the intuitive knowledge. Falam yanzilu ilal hukuki bisu'il adabi, and falam yanzilu, they do not descend, they do not enter, they do not descend, enter, or apply ilal hukuk, to their obligation bisu'il adabi, with the bad morals, wal ghaflati, and the negligence. Ay falam yukhalitu al khalqa illa ma'at ta'addubi tam. So they do not socialize with all creature illa ma'at ta'addubi, except with the noble character in akhlaqul karimah, yeah. So another meaning, another approximation of this al-idhn, at-tamkin, and then al-rasikh, yeah. Al-idhn means ihsan, wa tamkin means iman, and then the last warusukh is ihsan, warusukh is Islam. So why this word, why this text, this annotation? This annotation is prioritize the ihsan first, because it's the book of noble character. Yeah, this is the book of akhlaq, tasawwuf. Yeah. So the author is prioritize the noble character, means ihsan. Yeah. Okay. Can find another explanation from this book, by the way. Actually, our God, our gods, yeah. When our God, when He pray, He doesn't need our prayer. So when we pray, when we submit a prayer or our gratitude to Him with dua, with prayer, so that prayer is only for our protection. It's not for God, only for our protection. So He doesn't need our prayer, by the way. Okay. Falam yanzul al-huquq bisuil adabi wal ghaflat ay falam yukhalitu al-khalqa. They do not socialize with all creature illa ma'at ta'addubi, except with noble character atam, a perfect noble character. Li'annahum yarawna Allah fihim, because they witness Allah in all creatures or before creatures. Wa ma'al yaqadha wa adamil ghaflati an mujidihim wa ma'al yaqadha, and consciously, without neglecting an mujidihim, to their creator, to their creator, means Allah mujid, the one who awjada, our creator, our God. Wa idza adahum shakhsun tahammalu lillahi alladhi awjadahu. Wa idza adahum, okay. When they hurts a person, tahammalu lillahi, tahammaluhu. So they endure for the sake of Allah, alladhi awjada, who created it. Wara'au annalladhi, and they see and they find out, alladhi sallato, the one who give him a power or a position alayhim, to them, huwa maulahum, nothing but Allah, nothing but their protector. Maula, I mean their protector. Yeah. So the one who in charge our nourishment, our fortune, yeah. our wealth, our fortune. There's Maula. So this is impossible if maybe there is one of us or somebody or someone consider that God is awadahu. So being animated by God is not true. That is not true. That's absolutely wrong. The right ones, because He is our protector. So He never forsake us. You know, forsake, leave. Forsake is leave. So He will always be with us. He never forsake us. He never blame the prayers. He never blame His servant. Nevertheless, He never condemn or shame or blame His servants. And then sallallahu alaihi lidan bin fa'aluhu la yaliku. It's not word. Lidan bin, because of one sin that committed by them, fa'aluhu, committed by them, la yaliku, is not worth, is not suitable. La yalik is not worth, is not suitable bimaqamihim, with their spiritual faculty. Wa idza akramahum shakhsun, when someone glorifies him, when someone respect them, glorifies them, shakaruhu, so they are grateful, ma'ru'yatihim, with their perspective, anna alladhi harraka qalbahu, that the one who move or remove his heart, lil ikrami, to respect, to glorify, is maulahum. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing but maulahum, their protector. فهذه وشبهها, or فهذه وشبهها, and this topic وشبهها, and yes, and the same topic with it, Hiya al-hukuk is al-hukuk al-wajibah, the obligation, the mandatory obligation alayhim to them in the nuzuli, while they are an-nuzul, raise or descend, wa mukhalatatil haq, and mukhalatatil haq, and ta'addub bil haq, with the one, or bil khalqi. In your book, bil khalqi bil haq or bil khalq? Okay, bil khalq, okay. Social system. Yes. Mukhalatatul khalq means associating or socialization with all creatures. Wala ila'i walam yanzilu means they do not make or collect ilal hudud. They do not make or collect ilal hudud personal allowance or personal ambition. وَيَتَعَاطُوهَا, and they apply to that hudud bishahwati, based on the loose, wal mut'ati, and temporal pleasure, bidammil mim, ala sabili shahwatin, ala sabili shahwati nufusihim, ala sabili shahwati nufusihim laha, by following their own desire laha, to that hudud. Okay, Allah describe the personification of this aphorism. You may find out in Al-Hashr 9. Al-Hashr, chapter Al-Hashr, verse 9. Means Ansorun, Ansorin. وَالَّذِينَ تَبَوَّأُوا الدَّارَ وَالْإِيمَانَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ يُحِبُّونَ مَنْ هَاجَرَ إِلَيْهِمْ وَلَا يَجِدُونَ فِي صُدُورِهِمْ حَاجَةً مِمَّا أُوتُوا means ghanima or faya. وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ, and they prioritize the muhajirin people. لا يؤثرون على أنفسهم ولو كان بهم خصاصة وَمَن يُوقَ شُحَّ نَفْسِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. So Allah hail their noble character with muflihun, because they prioritize muhajirin people than themselves, okay. Okay, ala sabili shahwati nufusihim, ay ala sabili, by following their own desire, wa tamatu'ihim, and their pleasure, biha, with that hudud, bal dakhulu fi dhalika, but they carry out totally, min al-hukuki wal hududi, from the hukuk and hudud, both of hukuk and hudud, billahi, for the sake of Allah, ay musta'inina billahi, asking for his help, walillahi, and for Allah, la lihadhi anfusihim, not based on their personal ambition, wa min Allahi, and from Allah, min indihi, originate from Allah only, la min di anfusihim, is not originate from their selves, wa ilallahi, and towards Allah, ay mutawassilina ilaihi, means committed with Allah, or always mutawassil is tune in or connected. So all our will, our wants is committed by Allah, means mutawassilina, connected, always connected with Allah, ilahiyah, or tune in with Allah, being connected with Allah, fi naili muradihim, always being connected with Allah, fi naili muradihim, in achieving their purposes, their goals, their orientation. Thumma safarul awwal, the first voyage, the first journey, was sayru ila hadratil mawla, this journey to the presence of God, yuqalu lahu safarut taraqi, called by namely upward or ascend, journey of ascending journey. Wasani an-nuzul, and the second is descending journey, descending voyage. Minha, from hadratillah, from the presence of God. Ila mukhalatatil khalqi, to socialization, to social system. Yuqala lahu safarut tadalli, and named by descending journey, safarut tadalli. Okay, let's make classification between hudud and hukuk. Hukuk means hablum min Allah. Hudud is hablum minan nas. Hukuk is safarut taraqi, spiritual gradation, while al-hudud is descending journey or descending voyage. And Allah also described description of this thing you may find out in Mi'raj moment. We have a Q time or meet time. Q time means quality time with our God by awrad, by dhikr, to mention and to remember God, by istighosah, yeah. And also we have more time also with our surrounding, with our environment, how to socialize with all humankind, human being, or all creatures. How to have a good ta'dib, at-ta'addub at-tam, means noble character, with him only, toward him only, in his presence only, hadratih, all with khalqih, with all his creatures. So the Luhurian, the Arifun, they nazalu ila sama'il huquqi aw ardil hududi. Sama, yeah, everything as heaven or sky, yeah, above of our head, or ardul hudud. So the condition, there are three conditions. The conditions, shurut. There are three conditions: al-idhn, at-tamkin, al-rusukh fil yaqeen. And that's originate from our God. But how to know? How do we know? And Maulana Rumi, Maulana Rumi get allowance from our God, and then he cry. He scream, soha, scream. In your book maybe, yeah, but in this book, in this annotation, there is nothing. So we would like to dismiss the class with one or with the last question. This is a reflective question. There is a reflective question, by the way. How to get the idhn, the tamkin, and the rusukh. The idhn of God's means ihsan. The tamkin of God's mean iman. Wa rusukh mean Islam. So that's descending. Why ascending is rusukh, tamkin, and idhn. Sometimes we nazalu ila sama, and sometimes we nazalu ila hukuk. Nazalu ila sama means our hereby take the obligation, mandatory obligation, fi hadrati, the presence of Allah. And sometime we nazalu ila hukuk, means ila hukuk, we nazalu ila hudud, means socialization, with social system, social interaction. Both of them needs dakhalu bi husnil adab, dakhalu bi akhlaqil karima, with the noble character. So falam yanzalu ila al-hukuk al hudud bisu'il adabi wal ghaflati wal hudud bisyahwati wal mut'ati. Why? Because hudud is temporary pleasure, temporary lust. And this is the core values when we nazalu ila sama'il hukuk or ila ardil hudud, by Allah, billahi, walillahi, for sake of Allah and because of Him, wa min Allahi, and originate from Him, wa ilallah, and toward Him. So billahi, walillahi, wa min Allahi, wa ilallah. Billahi means billahi means shahada. This is our witness. Our testify is shahada, witness. Billahi means Islam, and the first of arkanul Islam, a pillar of Islam, is shahadatain. Walillahi, and iman, wa minallahi ihsan, wa ilallahi, and iqan. I think that's all I can deliver. Thank you very much.